Hello, the worst way to start a stream ever. Test, 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 test. Gotta move some of the stuff out of the way here. Give me 1 second, guys. Let everyone filter in. If we're gonna have any guys jumping in the stream today, let's move my headphones. Let's see. Can I set them right here without them being distracting with the shot? Cool. Might put my hat on. My hair is so long for you guys. I'm getting a haircut in a couple of days, so it won't be as ugly. All right. Mic looks all right. We got our news banner going. Shared this out on all our social media in the Discord. Try to do a little bit better getting it out earlier today. Yeah, I think we're good, good, good. Good. All right. Crack my back. Let's put this in the chat in case you guys didn't know. Right here, everybody. Boom. Brand new video game from me launching yesterday. 1-2 Exquisite Word Search. And there's a link to it in case you guys are interested. All right, let's close that out. I'll leave my Discord up in case I get some beeps. All right. Let's jump in. All right, I can't tell actually. Okay, there we go. Yeah, still looks good. All righty. Let me know. All right, cameras here. So if you guys watch my most recent video, I did a new camera angle from over here, and I put some lights behind my PlayStation back over here in the corner. And you know, I thought it looked really good. It was just in the intro of my last devlog from Monday. If you guys saw it or you didn't see it, let me know what you think about that setup. I told you guys I was going to move my whole office around last Wednesday on the stream, and I tried to do that. I started moving those giant shelves back there, the big bookcases. And whenever I moved the couch because I got a couch over here, and I started moving everything, and then it just started looking like it was not going to fit, and that it just the way where I was setting the camera, like the background, it wasn't that much of a better shot than being over here in the corner. And it was going to take so much work in order to move it. I'm going to rethink how I want to rearrange and just, you know, do it later. But with that being said, I did attempt a new camera angle and some new light placements and stuff like that. It just doesn't look good for the live stream. I can't really do it on the live stream because the monitor right here where I'm running all the stream setup and stuff, you would be able to see that from that camera angle in order to see the PlayStation on the desk and the lights and stuff. So then you would see like me being repeated multiple times, and it would look terrible. It wouldn't look very clean. So we're gonna go with the standard live stream setup for today, and we're gonna do some modeling and we're gonna do some level design. So I titled this week's live stream the Making Magic Carpet Ride. We're gonna be over here in the desert. You guys, hopefully you should be able to see this. All right, let's zoom that out. And you can see our beautiful desert here. I showed this off on the devlog, the devlog from Monday. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build a little bit of a level here, and then we are going to do a magic carpet ride around that part of the level. I have some code already where it's like a path following system, and this was from the original PitterPot game. You can see, I think you can see it, yeah, right here, follow path. I've got this script follow path here. I got it turned off for a second so this one can sit still. But you can define a path and drop some points around, and then you can make the carpet fly back and forth through the points. However, I think while we are on the stream, I might do a little bit of an experiment, and I like being able to animate things by hand. People say it's not the most efficient, I guess, but I actually really like the Unity animation system and the Unity animator component. And like I animated the gondolas from the other week by hand using the Unity animation and keyframes. So I'm actually going to try to do that with the magic carpet. I'm going to attempt to do something interesting because, see, we have an animator component on this carpet already, and it has an animation itself. And you can see we got our models here. Yeah. These are our models, excuse me, and my bones and stuff like that. I'm going to build a parent object to animate, and the parent object is going to move the entire carpet. So we're going to actually, instead of like it just going from point to point, like moving from point to point in code, and Because then if you're going to hard code this, you would have to say we're going to move towards this point and we're going to turn along this, path. It would be so much code in order to get it to look nice. And what we're going to do is we're going to build this big level here. This center of this level, we're going to delete all this stuff and build a model for it. And it's going to have some towers, some desert towers. And we're going to have the carpet fly around in circles in order to get up to this set of towers. And we're going to attempt to do an animation within an animation. And it should all work, I think. I also mentioned, let's see, I got rocks selected down here. I mentioned I had this prefab that I had already made, these carpets. Rug. I don't remember what it's called. Those are the models. And I'm going to attempt to make it look better. Rug flying. Is that what this is called? Rug flying? Carpet follow path. That is a different prefab. Okay. We got a carpet follow path and we have a flying carpet. Okay, so this is... Yeah, we'll just do this one for now. So I have bones here. We got to turn these on so we can see. Here we go. These are the colliders that are following these bones, and honestly, we can just make these thinner at this point because they're gonna work just fine. So like let's do 0.06. I can probably even do 0.02, 0.3. Yeah, let's try that. That's our first change for the day. And let's make sure we're plugged in on get my controller and stuff. And so this should just make his feet look a little bit better, and the feet should match up with the carpet as it's animating a little bit. And you'll see in just a second when it's done loading. So let's see, start, boom, boom. Let's make sure we're not falling through. Yeah. Oh yeah. See, look at that. It looks like he's like basically on the carpet. That's about as close as we can get it. You don't want it to be like as thin as it can go because you don't want him to break the collider while it's animating or anything like that. But you can see like, he is on the carpet. He went in it a little bit just there. Yeah, see, like it takes a second the way it's I think that's because of the way that the collision detection is maybe, I don't know if his is. Let's look at this. Collision detection discrete. Let's attempt this really fast to change it to continuous. And let me see if that actually has any effect on those bones moving. It might not, and we just need to make it a little bit bigger and still smaller than it was previously. Let's see. We'll stand right here. Yeah, so it doesn't actually do anything, so I'm assuming we can just go back to discrete. I know I'm not too familiar exactly what internally these do. I know that in some instances you need continuous. It runs harder. It's like checking more like future frames basically. Like in the orb games I have to run continuous collision detection, and that's because like it's like calculating where the ball is moving really fast via physics. So, you kind of need it there. Let's go 0.06. Yeah, let's just do half of what we had before. Let's save that and let's test that. But for him, for PitterPot, I don't really know. All his collisions fire off like on the instant that they're, detected. So I don't really think it helps us any to do it, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, he's sitting right there on top. He's still clipping a little bit. I'm not really sure how we can fix that. We'll move on for now. It still looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, he like runs across it, so it actually has, collisions across the whole animating rug. And then when you look at it from the top, it looks pretty smooth. Like the rug is just kind of like, doing a little float here. So we're going to have that rug animate. And, you know, I could get rid of colliders off of this. Interesting. Do these not have them? Oh, these do. Okay. All right. We'll just fix that. All right, so let's jump in. So that's the goal. We're gonna build. We're gonna get rid of all of this stuff, and we're gonna build a level that goes right here. So let me open up Blender, and we're gonna jump in there. And we're gonna build a big platform, and you know, a little bit of stuff hanging off the edges, and then we're gonna build at least one tower and probably two like little towers on the sides, to be honest. So it's gonna look something like this. Let's go to our front view. Gotta move my microphone and my keyboard. Let's see if I can move this cable, make this a little easier. Front view, top. Okay. I don't want this to be so big. 2. I'm gonna do some math in my head. We're gonna go 2. We're gonna need like 4 across in the center. 2, 2, 2. So that's 6, 4, 10, 16. Okay, so we want this to be 16 even, I think. If you guys caught the stream last week, 16 by 16. I do a bunch of stuff via math. So we would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's no real reason to... I was going to mirror this real quick, but to be honest, this is going to just be a single square. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yes. All right. So I did this because we want our middle to be 4 deep. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'll be here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's directly in the center, correct? And I want this, and I want this. Okay. Let's go back here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Oh man. We're going to zip back. I was going to say that didn't look correct. I want these to be even. We need room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to get rid of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And we'll do this. Boom, boom, boom. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be enough. Let's highlight all these. Let's get rid of this. Okay. Boom. Now we're going to get Basically all the edges. We're gonna go ahead and seam this up for a texture. I should probably check the scale, make sure it's what I actually want before we get too far, and we should probably save this before we have any kind of crashes and lose this or anything like that. Excuse me. Good grief. Already tired. That's what happens when you have a long launch day. Yesterday, I was basically a ball of anxiousness throughout the entire day, hoping that word search was gonna do all right. Because if you guys have been following along with the channel, seen some of my videos, you would realize that basically all hopes of the studio surviving is being placed on this game right here. And it has to sell a certain amount of copies over the next couple of months when it's finally done for us to stay open. Let's save. Let's go. Oh yeah, we're already in blend. Let's go stage 5 center. All right, let's go ahead and export this. I'm just going to go ahead and let's get the scaling before I start adding some more modeling details and start texturing this. Let's make sure that this looks right. Oh, guys, it is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. That's exactly what we want. What the heck is this guy got an animator for? Some of these things, after being imported through multiple unities, it's like they got rechecked. It's like there was no animation on this thing, but for some reason the importer, this thing doesn't even have light map UVs. All right, sandstone. There we go. Anywho, let's see. This looks perfect. Let's just scoot this out of the way for a second. Let's go ahead and get rid of all of this trash from the other level. You guys are gonna love this when this is done. Something about towering deserts, I don't know. I like that a lot for some reason. In the original PitterPot, there was also a lot of desert towers, and this is like the world where you unlock the cannon plant, and you shoot a bunch of stuff from different heights and blow up doors and things like that. So we're gonna make a cooler world for this game. We're gonna make towering deserts with secret alcoves and secret doors, and you're gonna be able to see it all by flying on a magic carpet ride. All right, so let's scoot him here. This looks good. Scale looks good. Just a couple more things to delete, and then we'll be cleaned for the time being. All right. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, thanks for joining the stream, guys. Welcome in as well to all the people watching. Really appreciate it. Yeah, we got our news going on. There we go. All right, so this is about what I was thinking. I didn't want this to be the most massive platform, but there's obviously space to explore. And you're gonna want to get up these giant towers. And man, the fog in this, like we are only, 20 feet from the start of this level, and you're already seeing it disappear into the fog. Looks awesome. I love our dust sandstorm and our fog clouds below us. This is perfectly cut off. Can't see the bottom. That's high enough. We're going to do some platforms around down there. We're going to do stuff off the side. We're going to do stuff up in there. Yeah. This works. All right. I think this works for what we're looking for. So let's go back and finish it. So, where's our front view? I guess we should texture all this first. Well, let's just do this. Let's go ahead and start with this. I'm going to be moving some platforms in and out of this model here. But I guess we should get the textures in first. Oh. These are the new ones. La 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 la. Watch this smooth moves, guys. WarioWare smooth moves. All right. And then this is gonna be a new material. Darn it. I lost PitterPot. You can see all my game folders. Good grief. Blah, 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 blah. So this we're going to look for. Wavy sand. Okay. It's for sure too much tiling, so I think we'll do the same thing here. And do sets of 9 maybe? Yeah, that's gonna look correct. Let's just go ahead and do another quick run test. Do a texture sniff test, if you will, everyone. Stage 5 center. Let us delete this. And start over. And we want to put the bump map on there. Let's figure out if this scale is going to be no good or just about right. All right. So you can see that tile is definitely too small. These bricks are tiling quite a bit, but when you're looking at them in person, they don't look that bad. And we're going to break some of this up a little bit. Oh yeah, that texture detail is for sure good. And yeah, and then we're going to curve all these edges, and we're going to add some 3D piles of sand to the ground. Honestly, looks great. Was that the bottom? Yeah. Okay, it's fine. Just curious if something like this could work. Get those bricks a little bit bigger. We don't have the best tile, to be honest. And we don't have the best tile here either. Without fixing this by hand. Yeah, see, they're not beside each other whatsoever. Did that fix it perfectly? Just about. Watch this. I think this scale is better. Honestly, this is going to work. Keep in mind what that just looked like. These are not fixed yet, but these are. That scale is much better. Just take a look at that. Honestly, I'm about to do the same thing for the sand just to fit that in 2 seconds. We're gonna get through this model much faster this stream. Oh yeah, that looks absolutely phenomenal. Once we get the bump map on there, once we do the bevels, we're gonna drop some models here. All right, we'll go on this scale. Let's go fix those other ones. These. Like, let's just do this. Boom. Boom. Come on, guy. There we go. Let's get this guy. Flip him. Let's turn this off. See if we can get a better looking angle. It's better on some sides. It's fine. Whoa. You know, some of those could have, I guess, they don't all have to be, they might not have all been placed in the right order. Some of these might need to switch positions. That's probably why it looked wrong. Like this one and this one, for instance, are supposed to be beside each other. Yeah. And then these two. This one needs to move this way. Come on, dude. So like this one needs to go there. Rotate by 180. Fix that one. And I guess this already works, but it should be there. Yeah. Welcome to beauty. That fixes those. So let's just do this. Same looks about right. Ta-da. This is working wonderfully, guys. And now we want to go here. Okay, I think we need to do the bevels first, and then I'll do the inserts. Let's try that. And guys, this game, I been meaning to get it up. I've just been so busy. I worked on the word search launch this week, doing the marketing, trying to get that ready. I've been working on another small port. Actually two small ports. One is, I guess I can tell you, I'm working on the original Tilting Tiles game. I'm attempting to release that in Japan as my first game to ever release in Japan. I've never released a game in Japan on the PlayStation. I've only released in Europe and North America. And, you know, Japan is a region I've always wanted to release in. But it used to be harder to do that stuff. And now you can kind of like global release easier. Obviously, I have to put the game in Japanese, and I have to redo the logo and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, they'll let me publish there now. So I'm going to attempt to do that because that's like a pretty large market, I would say. I mean, maybe not for PS5. It's not the biggest market. Um, but for PS4, which the original Tilting Tiles was PS4, that market was pretty big. And so PS4 and PS5 would be pretty big. And so I was working on that yesterday. And I am working on another port, a PS4 port this time, to go to another PS4 port, just like Night Detective, to go to PS5 that I was trying to get out. Because, you know, I don't make too much money off those, but it does bring an old title back to the surface. And, you know, new players find it for the first time, usually. And it makes a little bit of money. All right, got sand on top. I hate how that kind of ruined that. It did this one perfect. This one almost perfect. This one perfect. But not this corner. I wonder why. I wonder if we can fix it. So, let's see. Like if I move these, or really this over, well, I have to move the middle one, obviously. It's going to move them all over and create a big mess. It's fine. It looks perfect. It looks perfect all right there. It must have not had a good UV. One of them might have been flipped or something. This one looks perfect. Let's put these corners to be sand. So I've been working on some ports, some new regions, some marketing materials for the game that just came out. I've been working on this game. So I haven't got the store page up. And that's like a really criminal shame because at this point we've done maybe not four, two at least, maybe three. This is maybe the third live stream on this game. At least 3 devlogs, I think. Let's make sure we're in the right spot. Let's go here. Oh man, that is beautiful. If only it would done the UVs correctly. I think there's a way to do that. Face extrude along normals. No, that doesn't do it. There's a way to get it to map the UVs as you're moving, I think. Maybe it's this. But I think I would have had to set it up prior. There's something that you can do. It's fine. Let's see if we can just fix these by hand, basically. See how, like, this is now shrunk? And these are, like, teeny tiny. Okay, this is actually how we would be able to fix it. Yeah. Oh, actually, it's only tiny because of this. Whatever. Wah, 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 wah. Needs to basically go like in here. It's not fitting for some reason. Is it supposed to go on this one? Or is it... I thought it was in between these two. Honestly, that's kind of close enough, to be honest. Yeah, it's supposed to be... So this is this one. It's supposed to be like right here. It's supposed to have a perfect tile. It's on the right scale to have a perfect tile here. Then it wouldn't match this completely. So, I mean, it's off a little, but... Oh man, you about to come in and save the day. Fireplant Game says at the top right of your edit mode, options, correct face, attributes. Let's see if that works. So for the unwrap when you extrude. Okay, let's see. We're in edit mode. Uh, where's the options? Which options do you mean? Um, by your mirror and merge buttons. Okay, I was like, there's options here, options here, and you mean the top. So mirror and merge. Oh, genius. Okay. Let's try that. Let's see if this works. I knew there was a way to do this. I just didn't know how to do it. And doing it by hand was absolutely nightmare. Let's make sure I've got enough undos. Okay. Correct face attributes. Man. Well, during the face app, keep connected. Let's click on all of those. Let's see if any of those work. Um, I'm still not seeing it. It's probably just me. Um, oh man, I didn't even realize they had this option now. I've never hovered over this. Auto merge vertices. That is like just a brilliant thing because I'm always going merge and deleting. Well, I learned something new. Oh no, it only works if you extrude along the existing normal. My bad. I wonder. Let's just like do. Yeah, that. So what is that like this? What would the existing normal be? Face extrude along normals. Yeah, I feel like there's still a way to do this. I know there's like a way to do this. I mean, you can do this in some kind of level editors, but honestly, I don't know. It's not worth taking any more time on that for this. I can just get those close enough because those are about to be you're about to see it's going to be um such a small little ledge anyways. I'm only wanting to make a tiny little ledge here. That's it. Unless and I'm going to check it real quick to see what we've got. I'm doing it on the wrong side. The ledge needs to be on the complete opposite side unless I don't want to flip this. Something about like that. This would change my life if I could figure out how to do it though. Because I use that type of modeling all the time for other levels and other things like that. And boy, would that be really helpful. This mushroom is obviously not going to be in this level 15. But we're just going to try to use this to get the character up there real quick. Just so you guys can see it. Pardon me. Ah, perfect jump. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. I don't want him to be able to get fully in the ledge. I just want like it just to be like a very small alcove, all the way around this tower. And then I'm going to put like an item or two in there. And then one or two of them is actually going to have like an inside area. Let's save this, and then the undo button is going to be our friend here. I'm just going to, like, out of curiosity, if I restarted the unwrap, no. That would be way harder to fix than just fixing this. Okay. And honestly, I wish I need to make like another texture because, well, one, this could be sand, sand on the ledge. That would be just fine. These could be bricks, and we could just unwrap those with a brick. And this doesn't have to also be brick. It could be like, oh, let me think. I got another idea. What is this post? Because I'm going to drag some of these wood beams. These wood beams also go in the desert. Let's see if we can cheat. How can we cheat? Man, half scale is already like just about perfect. Point 0.6 ought to do it. All right, let's take a look. Okay, okay. Just to show what the correct face attribute does, this is irrelevant if you're watching the stream. Wow, that's incredible. Okay, so I'm thinking, you got me thinking, okay, how does that work? That works when you're extruding like a plane. But why wouldn't that work? Doesn't help me here though. I'm just confused on why wouldn't it work if you were like, you're pulling out a like a set. Yeah, I guess that needs to be like a plane maybe because it's just like one texture that's getting repeated. Honestly, it would probably work if I built every single the way that I'm building the other PitterPot game, the Spyro one that I was doing with Thomas Stewart. Each part of those levels are built by extruding piece by piece out, and honestly, I could extend everything there probably, but it still doesn't really matter. Um, I like this. I'm fine with this. This is like a little bit of a cheat. But it's breaking up the texture anyways is what we kind of wanted because what we kind of wanted to do is like right here, we want to put this back to 1. We kind of want to have at least this here. It kind of ruins the cool curve. See, we got this beautiful curve going. But I was thinking, let's see. I don't know if I like that after all. Okay. Might just do something like this to break up the sand into the brick and put them all around the bottom of the base. I'm thinking. Um, so what we want to do is do something like this. Honestly, I could actually maybe. Okay. I could do something like this. One sec, I gotta stand up. The dog wanted to get out of the room. All right. So this is possible to make this look all right, actually, with the brick. If we do something like along these lines and we just edit these UVs like this and put them like here. Ah. In here. So you can see it's like a single layer of bricks. Yeah, and it actually tiles right. And then we just do that all the way around. Like, I'll show you what it would look like here. Let's pick a different one. So something like this. Looks better on the bottom than it does the sides. We don't get the right scale. Let's experiment a little. It would look too small with that many bricks. But really, that's like all we need. Yeah, it would need to be something like this. Because if we did that, and then we return to our bevels. I'm not sure if it's going to look good on the inside. That's a waste of geometry. We don't need that. We just need it on the outside. All right, let's try this. I think this is going to look pretty good because you can kind of cheat, with these models. I was just playing, I don't know if you guys have ever, played Dark Souls, but I was playing this game called Lies of P recently, and I was really taking a look at how they were putting together the levels and stuff. And it's very interesting because, like, okay, everything in game development really is time management. It's like how good can you get something to look and you can move on in order to, stay in the budget, get the game out. I could spend 40 hours this week really just getting every single vertice in place on this to make it just 1 to 3% better than it is. If you look at Nintendo games, for instance, they have vertice and UV problems all the time. Even in like their large titles, I found when I was playing, now that I'm a game developer, I see this stuff and it's like almost annoying when you play games. But like I remember when the Switch came out and I got Mario Odyssey, I was playing that and I was like, there's texture seams in so many of these places. It's just so distracting. It was just like barely thrown together. But when you look at the whole thing put together, once you put all the models and the lighting and everything in there, it looks pretty good. And Lies of P, it's like they have all these buildings in the city and they have all these brick walls and these tiling textures that are repeating over and over and over. Um, and they're not actually worried about getting every model to perfectly tile around the corners where the bricks would tile. And anytime that they're running into an issue where they would need to tile something, they didn't care to take the time to do all the tiling. They just put a post in the way. Basically, they put like a extruded brick to where like the brick actually would be, a different tile, and like they just covered up all the seams basically with additional models. And I was thinking about that recently. It's much faster to do it that way, and then honestly it even looks better in a certain sense because when you look at a level, you're looking at a level that has way more 3D instead of just a flat curved tiling texture. So like when I'm doing this right here, I'm gonna make these alcoves, that is giving more 3D, more depth to this tower instead of it just having a single, plane basically. And instead of worrying about all the textures, we're going to add even more models in. We're going to put a little sand down here. We fill it in with these wood posts or whatever, and boom, looks good. And to make this look a little bit better, obviously this is not set on the correct layer. This needs to be set as a wall so the camera won't clip through it, because the camera is clipping pretty hard right there. So if we go jump and look at it now, it'll look a little bit better. See, now you can't get the camera under the ground, and then when you're here, it won't clip the same way. So yeah, you'd be like, oh look, I'm stuck right here, because I wanted to go in. Honestly, I might even pull that back a little farther, because like he really can't fit. He's like really hanging off. I want it to be like one length. Like, let's see. Probably about like that. And then I should have measured that. I'll look at see if we can find the math to measure that exactly right. Because I'm going to make these all around this model here. And now we've basically, we're getting the gist. I thought this would go a little faster, but it's fine. This is basically the tower that we're going to fly up. So, you know, I called the stream the Magic Carpet Ride. We should probably, I didn't realize it was already 12:22. Usually I stop these streams between an hour to an hour and a half. So I'm like, maybe 2 hours at the most. But today, you know, I got to eat lunch. So I can make those wood beams a little bit bigger, or I could maybe push them in some. But yeah, he can completely stand now without hitting that wall. Our little man, our little PitterPot. Beautiful. Well, let's attempt to get a carpet flying so we can kind of get the gist. And then this Friday, there's not going to be a devlog. There's going to be a business video, a game dev talks video. So maybe on Monday, the devlog after the weekend, this level will be done and stuff like that, and then you'll get to see it in real-time action. Okay. So what we want is, I want to take this guy. And we want him to fly in a circle, basically up this tower, and then stop here. And and then you're going to be able to jump down from here to these other platforms to get into these alcoves around the tower. And I'm going to put platforms all across this so you can jump down. And I want to put another carpet that goes from over here to the top of the I'm going to put another thing right here that goes up. And honestly, let's just test this really fast. I don't know if that top platform has enough room. We might even need to make it bigger, because it's not a gazebo. I don't know what it's called. I'm thinking there's like I want to be able to walk underneath a building here. Basically, it's gonna be little. This might be enough. Grab a couple seeds here, fly up to the top, grab the flag. Can really launch off these mushrooms. Whoa. Can't wait till I need, maybe I'll probably do that this week too. I'll do the falling animation. See, the jump animation is pretty good. He jumps, he gets his legs straight, he puts his heads forward, his flower goes forward. But then there's like no falling animation where he's not like he's stuck in one position. all the way down. So if you jump all the way up really high, I want him to be kind of like, oh, like moving his arms and legs and stuff. So maybe we'll work on some new animations this week and get that in the devlog. But I think it's enough room. So let's try to animate this. Let's call this Magic Carpet. Carpet, I think I hit the answer button. Carpet parent 1. Oh boy, he's down underneath the ground. Let's put him here. Let's go red for Magic Carpet parent. We're going to zero this out. And now we're going to put him in here. All right. And now we should be good. Now animation. Animations folder. Magic Carpet Fly. Let's move you farther out. All right, we're gonna have to do a mid. Fly around the corner. And then I want to go in here. Need our locals. Let's zoom this out. Let's go back here. This is pretty rough going here. I'm just kind of just plotting these out. This is going to get refined, but I'm already really liking it. It's gonna be awesome. Look at how he's just zipping in there. I'll park him right here. very close to the ledge. Don't like that. I'm going to park him directly here. And we're going to take that and stick this at 3. And we're going to go back and fix you here. So take you a little farther out. Beautiful. That'll do it. Now we need to make another one called Magic Carpet Start. And we're going to take our first keyframe and put it on start. And we are going to set default to start. And we're going to make a transition to fly. And we're going to make a trigger and called Pitter Enter. We're going to get rid of the exit time. Pitter Enter. We go to Magic Carpet Fly. And then let's go to Magic Carpet Fly again real quick. Should be a little dizzying. It's a little fast. We need to at least slow this down by half, potentially more. And then we need to write a script called Magic Carpet Enter or Magic Carpet Magic Carpet Zone. Let's add that. It's going to load. It's going to take a second. All right. We're still compiling. I'm going to at least get this working and then probably get ready to end the stream for today. I thank everybody for joining in. Check that. And thanks, Fireplant Games, for your comments on attempting to help me figure out these crazy Blender issues. Really appreciate it. All right, so let's pop this open real fast. It's actually opening Visual Studio on my other screen, which is good. Okay, it loaded on the other screen. I'm not touching it. I'm not crashing this computer. We are not doing it. Good grief, dude. I think I've got a little too many things open. Blender, Unity, Visual Studio, web pages, and OBS. I can't believe we're surviving. Lord. All right, so we need... Oh, Lord. It's really Or if I can close anything. Public. I guess I'll close Blender for now. See if we can save some resources. Animator. Of course, they're trying to give me update Visual Studio. I want to get off Visual Studio so bad, guys. I know a lot of my friends use that Rider, JetBrains Rider, whatever that is. I'm considering about purchasing that. So yeah, this is so simple. We're just gonna leave it at this for now. We're gonna pop an animator here, and when PitterPot jumps in, it's going to set that trigger that we just set. So this is just to get this to work on this stream. We're gonna do. I'm gonna add some more to it in just a second. And the public animator we're looking for is on the magic carpet. And then what we want to do is we want to go here, carpet fly, and we want to make sure that this is not looping. And to be honest, we don't have to loop this either because it's just static. So, and it won't leave this. And honestly, that should be everything that we need just to get this to work, just for the stream. Fireplace Game says VS Code is fine for Unity 2. Yeah, I've heard that. I attempted to use that once, and then yeah, I didn't see. I need to try. Whoa, it's too fast. Yeah, we're gonna slow that down another half speed, so we can get a 0.25. And I might have to change this to make it a little smoother. I'm kind of just like over Microsoft products at this point. I really don't want to be using anything that they've got. Now, this is what we're talking about. But... And now PitterPot has arrived at the pinnacle. Oh man, this is gonna be sick. But what we should also do is... What would be very cool is see how like these are just so slowly animating and blowing in the wind. Basically, when we're flying on this, the carpet is actually flying. It should be animating faster, kind of like... I need a carpet fly animation maybe. But the only thing about that is it could be annoying because the colliders are moving and you'd be bouncing all over it. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. Let's go. Is that animation skeletal, shape keys, or a shader? It's not a shader. It's actually keyframed. So I'd have to keyframe it again. I have bones in the rug, and it's just keyframed. I'm really bad at shader code, so I just keyframe everything myself. This would be magic carpet return. So what we would want to do is... Now, I know that technically speaking, you could... I think it's possible. I believe that is possible to play an animation in reverse, so I could then just play this one backwards to get back to the start. But the way I like to do things, and have the animators in a loop and be able to loop this easier in code, I'm making just a new animation, and I'm just taking the keyframes and placing them in reverse order from the fly. It would actually be easier if I do it this way too. About like this. Just get these out of the way. And then this would be... Ooh. I think this was like another 30 seconds. The only problem is these keyframes right here. Oh, dog's barking. It is about that time to end the stream. This right here. This right here. And then that's I think these are 30-second intervals here with 15 in between. 30 seconds. 15. Yep, and this ends at 3. That would be correct. So now if you look at this, it is going to fly all the way home in reverse. And we will have him in the animator component. Can turn his speed back down. Can get rid of the loop. And then from fly, we would be able to go into return state. And then loop back to start and do it all over again with only a set of 1 or 2 extra triggers. So if I do it like this, has exit time. Yeah, let's just take a look at it and see what it looks like. And then I'll give you guys the end spiel, because, well, yeah, ending at 12:45, that's perfect. That's an hour and a half. Yeah, an hour and a half. We made this level, textured it, made the flying carpet. I love how PitterPot walks. And then we animated it like in a rudimentary level. And now we'll fly back home. I love how he's like turning with it. The camera's good. I gotta fix that. The first keyframe is a little too short. It zips a little bit too much. You can jump right out of that and bounce into some mushrooms. All right, guys. Well, there is the attempt at the Magic Carpet Ride. You got to see some Blender fumbles, and you got to see some hand-keyed animations in Unity. That's not too bad. We're going to make this a lot better. And yeah, kind of want to make sure he cannot hit those towers. Flies in there. We'll change these curves on these. Yeah, that warp there at the end. Little too quick. But we're getting there. So basically the way the desert is going to work is this level is going to be there's going to be some more stuff after this, and we're just going to introduce flying carpets, and then there's going to be, some cannon plants and stuff in the desert, and then after that there's going to be like another one where we're going to have like, maybe like an intense flying carpet, and you're going to have to dodge enemies and cannons and, bad guys everywhere and grab the seeds while you're riding on the carpet and stuff like that. I don't know why that trigger is triggering. It should stop. Yeah, I'm gonna fix that animator state and make it a little bit better. But yeah, so this is a good start, and probably, to be honest, today is the last day on that side project that I'm working on. I'm working on that, I guess it automatically, if you're riding it, I guess this another distraction point. I guess it triggers the on trigger enter because you're moving in and out based on the moving colliders are pushing you in and out of that trigger. So that's something I might also have to take into account. There might be some kind of delay, so it doesn't just instantly go back up to the top once you land at the bottom, or once you land at the top. I'm gonna have to have a waiting state or something like that. But yeah, so I'm finishing up that side project, and then probably, to be honest, over the weekend, I'm going to try to finish that Japanese port of Tilting Tiles. Um, but this weekend, I will be spending more time on this project than I have this past week. This past week, I spent a lot of time on the Tilting Tiles Japanese port and this other secret PS5 port, which I will be doing a little bit of a video conference coming up in about a week to announce all of this stuff. And I should have more work done on this, and maybe even both desert levels done, and then that will be in Monday's devlog, and then on Wednesday's stream we will finally get to the swamp and have some animations where we can do the swinging vines in the swamp. I've got a couple ideas on that. I'm wanting to do like a vine swing where he holds onto it and jumps back and forth like he's swinging underneath it like Donkey Kong. But honestly, there's also like some Sly Cooper-esque vines I was thinking about we could do where you jump on it and you slide down them. We could, potentially be doing something like that. And then if the other ones don't really work good, maybe if we have time we can do both to really add the swamp to make it pretty cool. I'm not really sure. I was working on some of the environment models for it this past week, and I'm not really sold on like the sky and the swamp models I was working on for platforms yet. So I was like, you know what, we'll skip that. We'll come back to it. We'll do these desert levels first because it'll be easier because I have some of these assets already, set up, some of these textures, and they look good. So that's why we skipped ahead and then, went ahead and did this one first. But we'll probably try to do that next week. So you guys can check out the stream next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Really appreciate it. Got an hour and a half in here and got you know, some work done, I guess. But I enjoyed being on the stream with you guys. Like I said, the 1-2 Exquisite Word Search just launched yesterday, guys, for $2.99. If you purchase that, it gives you the PS4 version and the PS5 version. All new handcrafted levels, new music on the TreeFall radio. There's like almost 40 songs in there at this point. So, like, if you were going to buy the music by itself, it would cost more than the game cost, basically. So you could literally use it as a TreeFall MP3 player, basically, on your PlayStation. What else do we have? And new background themes and stuff. So tons of awesome stuff going on in that game. It just launched yesterday, and to be honest, I was a little disappointed in the very beginning because a lot of the people that do guides for me or press coverage or reviews and stuff like that, they didn't cover this game as they have covered stuff in the past. And I was decently surprised that I still had an average launch day. It wasn't the best launch day that we've had. It wasn't the worst. So recently, I launched Journey of a Special Average Balloon and I launched Pick a Block. Those were the games over the last couple of months, and those are respectively the worst and second worst selling games of all time that I've ever launched at TreeFall Studios, which also added to the pressures of this game has to perform well and stuff. But the launch day for Word Search already has outsold both of those games, like in their entirety already in one day, sold more than Pick a Block has in over a month and over 2 months, actually. If you guys don't know about Pick a Block, totally underrated gym. I'm going to talk about that in the future for as long as I go on making TreeFall games. I'll be like, the underrated TreeFall gym that no one played. Nobody played that game. And it's got like 30 puzzles. It's got like 10 hours worth of content, basically. If you're slow, I guess. It's maybe 5 hours worth. Let's be fair. 5 hours for a couple of bucks. I'm like, man, and it's got some cool music in it too, guys, and like some really cool pictures and like some awesome graphics. I'm like, man, nobody played Pick a Block. But anyways, so Word Search Word Search did better than I thought. So if you guys pick that up, be sure to leave it a 5-star review. When I checked this morning, we were at 8 of 10. If we can get to 10, it's kind of like Steam. It's like, they feature it a little bit. There's like, there's games for you on the PlayStation where like if there's a similar game, if it has enough ratings, like it shows up on other people's store pages when they're shopping for similar games. And then like there's also like there is a little bit of an algorithm on the PlayStation Store. It's kind of like Steam. There's like a little tab on your app or on the PS5 store. It's like new games for you, I think is what it's called. It's like it kind of thinks like these are games you might like, but you don't really get shown in those categories on other people's store pages unless you have like enough, ratings and sales or whatever. So I guess that's kind of how all the algorithms work and stuff. That's why it's like you got to push for people to give you a rating if they have the game or whatever, because a lot of people bought the game and, some people rated it. We got 8 ratings or whatever, but obviously more than 8 people bought the game. So it's like, oh man, if you could just, even if you don't want to give it 5 stars and just give it 4 stars or whatever you want to give it, it still helps because it's like the machine learning, it needs those numbers basically to figure out whether or not to share your game to other people and stuff, and give those random people who've never even heard of TreeFall Studios a chance to see the game and maybe go, oh sure, I'll play some word searches or whatever. But guys, so that worked out pretty good. So I'm pretty excited. So we should be able to crossing my fingers, I should be able to finish this game. I should have enough money to at least finish this one game, and this could be the last one, but we'll see. But alrighty guys, thank you so much. Got to give a huge shout out before we end the stream. Let me shout out everybody on TreeFall Studios on the patreon.com. Thanks you guys for supporting TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. There is links, I think there's links below. I gotta give a personal shout out to Mandy, Shark and Minnow, Thomas Stewart, Space by Name, Mr. Troy, and Jamil Demir. I think that's all we have this week. I think we lost one. So that's 6 personal shout outs at the end of this live stream. Thank you guys for what you do for TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. Couldn't do what I do without you guys. It really helps out a lot. The Patreon page, it's kind of like, just a little bit of extra income that mixes in with the Steam income, which is like very, very little. And when you put those two things together, it's like it just pushes the PlayStation income, which is like 90% of our income, to like be like basically just enough to survive. So we really appreciate all the people who support on patreon.com. You can get your names in the credits of the game. All the people who supported this past month, they will be in the credits for this game when it comes out. It's not like a hard and fast thing. A lot of times I still feature people in the credits even after they've canceled for like a month or two, just to give them that benefit. It's just a couple dollars, but they were supporting the studio and stuff. So thank you guys, and I think that's gonna wrap it up. This is the longest wrap up I've ever done. So yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. I will catch you guys in the next stream. Got a business video for you coming on Friday, and the next PitterPot devlog will be on Monday. Hopefully by Monday we will have the store page live, so you guys can put the game on the wish list, because that's like the key thing for me now. This game has got to get live to where people can start putting it on wish lists, and that's what's going to help out the most. But alrighty guys, I really enjoyed it. Thank you for watching along with the stream. I'll catch you in the next video.